Hello, everyone. Welcome to Snap Take. We got three new cards in the last week in Marvel Snap, but I only got two of them. Sorry. The third one will be a voltage grab later. We got Firelord and our good friend the Fallen One this week. We're going to review both of them, and then we'll cover the last card, Airwalker, when I'm able to get him later this week. We're going to kick this off with Firelord, who is a 4/6. On reveal, revive when you discarded or destroyed 3-cost cards here. Firelord has a few very good decks, and he opens up new archetypes. But because he is such a strange and different card, it turns out what he's really doing is losing a lot of games. Firelord has a 45% win rate with a negative zero point 0.1 cube rate at high infinite. Part of that, however, is that people are experimenting with him. Even Jet, who we assumed would take to this card like a fish to water, only has one good deck for Firelord. That said, we have that deck for you coming soon. So there are good Firelord decks. Firelord is a good card. Is Firelord a great card, one worth going out of your way to get? Well, how much do you love weird, janky stuff? If you like butt decks, if you like jet decks, if you like the weirder, stranger decks, I think that people like that are going to be messing around with this card for a long time to come. If that's not your jam, then feel free to skip Starlord. Sorry, Firelord. So many fires and so many lords. Jet is a Lord of Fire. Hey, look, another Lord. Jet created this list and had great success with it. We'll take a look at his win rate in a little bit, but fundamentally, this deck is utterly insane with 4-drops, right? Our goal is to ideally surge a couple of them down, but to get Luna so that we can end the game with like a 4 and a 3, usually a Surfer, and win that way. We can also do things like use Firelord or Phoenix Force to bring back Silver Surfer for double Surfer. We can do things like double or triple or quadruple Cassandra Nova with Absorbing Man and Fire Hair and Destroy cards and Misery, and then Firelord and Phoenix Force to bring those back. There's 10 million plays. A turn by turn for this list is going to be a little more confusing than usual. Excuse me, the name of this player, I'm recording this live on Twitch, is Jet13. That is 5 E's in Jet 13. He is the lord of all Phoenix Force decks. He's in the top 20 right now. This is the list that he had the most success with recently. He has finished as high as number 2 on the Infinite leaderboard previously, way back in the season Lamby won. This deck needs Firehair, Cassandra Nova, Phoenix Force, Misery, Fire Lord, and Gwenpool. It looks more expensive than it is. A lot of these cards are cards that we were able to either get for free or just really, really old cards, right? Firelord is a card that is at least a Series 4 card. Gwenpool was a Season Pass. Phoenix Force is a very old Season Pass that's been in some of the best bundles ever. Cassandra was an old the first Deadpool's Diner card, which really means Misery and Firehair, and those are cards you probably own at this point. Surge can be Zabu, and unfortunately Luna can be Fastos or Magic. I'm actually a little partial to Magic over Fastos of all things in this list. I think that extra energy is very, very important. So, Surge. Surge here is our way to make sure that we can get extra 4s out. We've got Absorbman, Gwenpool, Phoenix Force, Firelord, and Misery. That is an ungodly amount of 4s to not be running Zabu. Zabu is obviously the card I most like to add here, but Surge gives us the energy and the ability to play multiple of them, and thus it's a worthwhile play. The one you really want on turn 3, just for the record, is Gwenpool, although there are worse things to do than Absorb Man on Surge, just for the record. As I choked to death, excuse me. Fire Air, if you're destroying on reveals, is just great. Why not get them twice or 3 times if you Misery? It's really, really good with Cassandra Nova. Obviously, getting the second Cassandra Nova trigger is great. It's hilariously good with Brood because you will get 3 power Broodlings out of that deal, which you can then Surfer. You don't want to Venom it, so don't do that. But you can hit Gwenpool, get the extra buffs in your hand. Again, 3 Gwenpool buffs is a lot, sometimes 4 with Phoenix Force if you can manage to pull that off with Surge. You don't really want to get the extra fireball from the extra snowball from Luna because you don't want to Phoenix Force back that Luna snowball, but it's not the worst thing in the world. So there's just a lot of good targets though. Our main ones are Brood and Cassandra Nova, and when we can pull it off properly, Gwenpool. From there, we got Brood. Brood is just really good whenever running Surfer. It's obvious here. Cassandra Nova is probably the best card on the deck. We want to Cassandra Nova like several times. We want to get Firehair out, get Cassandra Nova out. Then we want to destroy Cassandra Nova, get an extra Cassandra Nova trigger, play Firehair, right? We go Firehair, Cassandra Nova, Misery, and then we can go Firelord, right? Or we can go Cassandra Nova, Absorbing Man, Misery, Firelord, Phoenix Force sometimes. And that kind of thing is just completely wildly strong. Obviously, that takes some extra shenanigans, extra turns in the game. Surfer's a buff for only 3 cards here, but one of them makes copies, and then Fire Hair makes copies of the copies, and Absorbman can still copy Brood just fine. Don't forget that good old play. Luna gives us our generally preferred last turn of 3+4. Surfer and Absorbman are the easy way to look at that, but a lot of times that's going to be Phoenix Force to bring back sort of whatever, or Firelord to bring back whatever, and Surfer. That works fine too. Venom is a destroy card, a good way to keep the power on cards like Cassandra or Absorbman. While Misery gives us the extra triggers, we need these for our Phoenix Force and Firelord to do anything. And then Gwenpool is just a nice big old buff. The card we most want to buff, Brood, although honestly, buffing Firehair, not bad at all. If we go something like Gwenpool into Brood slash into Brood Eat It. Or sorry, if we have no, that doesn't work. Excuse me. I don't know how to make that work in my head. Jet's smarter than I am is basically the moral of that story. But you can go Gwenpool into Brood already on the board, right? Into playing Firehair and eating Brood. That's how we would do that. I knew there was a way to do it because I've seen Jet do it, but my brain no good. All right, Jet is 16-6 with this, 73%. Turn 1, you pass. Turn 2, Surge over Firehair, although there are draws where you'll play Firehair over Surge. Turn 3, we want Gwenpool over Luna over Cassandra Nova. Sometimes, again, you'll change that order based on your hand. Cassandra into Absorbman is very strong. Turn 4, Gwenpool, or we can do our first Destroy. Firehair and Venom are pretty good. Sometimes we also consider Absorbing Man. Turn 5, destroy your on reveals, or if you've already destroyed 2 cards, you can drop either Firelord or Phoenix Force. You can also destroy Brood or Surfer if nothing is gone yet. Destroying Brood with Misery is kind of hilarious, just for the record. Again, especially if Firehair is out. And then, of course, we have a Phoenix Force, Firelord, Surfer, some combination thereof. Include Absorbman as you can to end the game. And you end up with a really powerful list that can win a lot of games. This one's going to break your brain. You're going to finish this with a headache. The last few decks we featured on the channel have been very hard to play. If you check this morning's video, yes, this is the second video of the day. If you check this morning's video, we had 2 bounce decks that are incredibly hard to play. This is another one. And I wish I could say I'd get easier from here, but our good friend Zenaid is back with a Fallen One deck that's not significantly easier to play. It's actually really complicated, but it's got another fantastic win rate. Before we get there, though, please hit that sub button, leave a like and a comment if you're willing to help support the channel. Tomorrow's my birthday, so it'd mean a lot to me if you threw that extra support our way. And we're giving away Galactus First Steps, my birthday present to you. All you have to do is sub, like, and comment on any video this week. Someone who does so will end up winning a Galactus First Steps. Next up, we have the Fallen One, who's barely better than Firelord. 5/5 on reveal, set your max energy equal to this card's power. It's a 46% win rate with a negative 0.1 cube rate. And I want to go, well, these are going in new decks, right? These are new archetype builders, and that's why their win rates are so low. But last week, the card was, oh my God, Frankie Ray Nova. And I looked that up, and that was a 50% win rate. And then Stardust is an even higher win rate than that. Stardust is sitting at like a 52% win rate. And Galactus, 53% win rate. Galactus is at a 54% win rate. Some of the higher win rates around. So I think Fallen One is just struggling to find a home right now. I think Fallen One's problem is cards like Negasonic and Juggernaut are everywhere, and it really royally screws up the card. Straight up. It still has a few good decks. We've given you 4 or 5 really good decks with this card, but they're disruptible. And when you're facing those disruptions, you have to be able to run. And when you're not facing those disruptions, you have to be able to snap aggressively. I think Fallen One is going to be a meta card. I think we are a slightly worse Fenris Wolf world away from Fallen One being a really good card. But as long as Cannonball, Mercury, Fenris Wolf are some of the best cards in Marvel Snap, we're going to have a hard time with Fallen One. As much as it seems like those cards will last forever, they will not. Nothing lasts forever, even Cold November Rain. So Fallen One will have its day. Next up, we've got Zenaid's Fallen One list. This one took me forever to figure out what the hell to do with Silver Surfer First Steps. Like a million years to figure out what to do with Silver First Steps. I think I got it. It's got a few uses. Most of them have to do with 0, just for the record. Although there's worse things than getting like an extra Shuri trigger. But like largely it's 0 and Iron Patriot early and 0 late that you're really trying to get with this card. If you can get the 00, you can do things like after Fallen One, you can like end up zeroing a Red Skull, or you can Shuri, like, we'll get to it in the turn by turn. Let's not try and explain it because this one literally broke my brain. These decks are so complicated lately because the meta is like all this like completely like busted wild stuff, right? It's just like here's Cannonball, here's Shang, like it's all these control cards and control decks. And I'm telling you, tomorrow's video will be my big this morning's video was my big oh my god, I'm so sick of control cards rant, and we're about to get another one tomorrow. But despite the like because of the prevalence of control cards, decks like this, you have to be so complicated to play around and beat them. I'm really sorry, it's just where we are. This list needs Fallen One and Starbrand. Iron Patriot can be Cable or Mirage. Makari can be Gladiator. Surfer First Steps can be Misery. Legion can be Cosmic Ghost Rider, Black Panther, or, of course, Cannonball. All right, let's talk. Sauron is here because if Starbrand and Red Skull don't have a downside, they're some of the best cards in the game. Straight up, it's just that simple. Zero is here because if you don't have Sauron, or you drew Zero and Starbrand and Red Skull, you need a way to get rid of their abilities, and so we run the Zero. Iron Patriot is just a nice card to get a second copy of with a Surfer for Steps. Also really easy to win that lane with Starbrand. We don't have to try and win it immediately. We can always be ahead in that lane later and hit that Iron Patriot around turn 3 or turn 4 and go over the top that way. Doing things like zero into Starbrand on turn 4 are perfectly viable here, especially after a Silver Surfer. But Lizard and Makari will do a job in winning us priority and getting us those lanes too. Priority is especially important because Negasonic Teenage Warhead is a card, and so is Juggernaut, and Symbiote Spider-Man sits on the board saying, oh my god, stop me here. Shuri and Symbiote Spider-Man are trying to get us a Giant Fallen One. If we can get a Giant Fallen One, we're in decently good shape here. Nice and simple. Legion blows up a bunch of locations that are otherwise very annoying and is game-winning for you. And then, of course, Red Skull is keyword big. We're running Shuri, so we run Red Skull. It's not that complicated. All right. 29 and 14, 67%. That's a really good sample size for 67%, friends. I don't know if you know that, but that is a pretty good sample size for that high of a win rate. Turn 1 Sauron over 0, fine, even for Lizard. We can snap Sauron, but we need both Red Skull and Starbrand in the deck. Turn 2, we can do 0 for Starbrand. We can also just drop an Iron Patriot or a Lizard. Turn 3, we can do Starbrand if it's 0'd, or Sauron. Don't play Starbrand otherwise. We're fine getting that card Shang'd reasonably fine because we have enough other plays, but we can also hold it for later. Surfer First Steps for 0 Iron Patriots, also very good. I'm a big fan of using Surfer in the lane with 0 if I don't think I'm going to win that lane right away, because I want that 0 for later. Cool. You can also use Iron Patriot just fine. Like getting a second Iron Patriot card is not something you're ever set to do. Turn 4, we have Shuri over Symbiote Spider-Man. It's very simple. You want to play Shuri into Red Skull or Fallen One. Symbiote Spider-Man is better for Fallen One than Shuri, but it's more easily countered by like an awful lot. Like even a Juggernaut doesn't stop the Shuri, but it does stop the Symbiote Spider-Man pretty damn well. Although if you have Prio, have fun with Symbiote. It's a better card. Otherwise, it's just more power. Worse for Red Skull though. Fallen One for extra energy is our goal. We're also perfectly fine to play a doubled Red Skull. You don't need to zero a doubled Red Skull. It's good enough. I will happily Shuri a Legion too. You don't really want to symbiote a Legion though, so keep that in mind. You can play Legion elsewhere and symbiote something on the last turn. Surfer First Steps and a 2 or a 0 and Starbrand are fine as well. You can use the old Surfer First Steps play to retrigger 0 here as well. So like if you want to drop a Legion or a whatever, like a 0 Starbrand on a Surfer First Steps, you can get that retrigger so that you can play Red Skull with no ability last turn. Turn 6, we want to play that Red Skull, generally speaking. Or if we had Fallen One, we can sort of go off. We can play like 0 and Starbrand and Red Skull and just all sorts of crazy stuff and put out absolutely tons of power and win the game. Not easy to play. Straight up. It looks like a Red Skull Shuri Red Skull used to be the easiest thing to do. Not easy to play, but really, really rewarding and really, really powerful. Again, Fallen One has homes, but Fallen One is not a card that, despite what having a lot of energy looks like, is going to play itself for you. You're going to have to think about what your opponent's doing and try and win games very carefully. I think because we don't have the old spotlight system, you can wait on Fallen One, assuming you're not missing 10 million cards, and you can think it'll show up again for you soon. If you think Fallen One will show up for you again soon, you don't have to rush to grab it right now. But I do think this is eventually going to be a meta card. I think just getting that much extra energy is an awful lot, and they're going to keep giving us buff cards that will make Fallen One better and better as we go. Decks sort of either want Fallen One as we're still learning, right? Whether the best decks for Fallen One are decks where Fallen One is sort of incidental, right? And they're just running Shuri and Symbiote to do other things, or whether Fallen One is kind of the point. We're not quite there for that information, hence the low win rate, but I do think we're getting there, and this deck is better than you would otherwise think. Hey, come check out twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. I should be streaming the night of August 26th for most of you, which is my birthday. It'll not be my birthday because I'll be streaming for late at night, but hey, come hang out, celebrate my birthday with me at twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. In addition, our season pass question: did you get earlier card, and what do you think of them? If you didn't get either, you can still answer, but just let me know which ones you got because I'm curious about first-hand information too. Also, if my current stream times aren't working for you, please check out the stream team. The stream team is our lovely, lovely friends who stream for us since our time schedule has changed. This is Monday, so Gregor2424 will be streaming at 7 p.m. Eastern. Come check it out. Also, our question of the day is very simple. Query asks how I feel about the DC reboot. I don't have feelings about the DC reboot. I watched Superman though, and I thought Superman was a really, really fun movie. I don't think it was perfect, but I think it was about as comic accurate to Superman as we've ever gotten in any medium. I mean, that's not fair. I guess the DCU has done a lot of good, like the DCAU has done a lot of really, really good Superman stuff. But it's the most comic accurate movie Superman ever, at least since the very first Superman movie, which I wasn't alive for. I saw it as a kid on VHS because I'm old. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed that Superman movie, and I wish there was more of that tone. I have a feeling we're going to get a lot more James Gunn tone later. I hope he doesn't forget that there's a good purity to DC heroes that really does endear people to them, and we continue to get more things like the new Superman movie. Since support on our Patreon come with on-air thanks. I'm going to go relatively quickly at patreon.com/snapjudgments, ready for Jonesy Snap 22. Thank you to Abigail. Jonesy Snap 22 is our patron of the month, by the way. Thank you to Abigail Keeson, Manager Burner, Irregardless, LAB, Inc., I Am Frostman, Hotan Everett, Prime Brian, Ryan Burke, Ryan Wood Snap, Remnant, Gopher Kev, Keltor, Caretix Lee, Corey, Kazushi, Archangel 3K, Black Dahlia, Profrost, The Go Seeker Code, Hallowed Synth, Frederick, Absolute Shannon, Dirty Casual, Dark Moogle, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, Ginger Prime, Philly, Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, The Biz, Black Sheep 23, XOC, and Skippy G, our rhyming friends, Jessica Gamble, Slush Death, The Kinger Bros, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Kev Hoda, Clam, Colonel Foreman, Rob Silverman, David Wingfield, Steven, Brian Coffin, Justin H. Martin, Jason B, Matt V, Corin, John Q, and Jim Mickey. Yes, out, A Sage, One Big Man, Cactus Shack, Reapster, Steve O, 131, Yo Marco, Ted Pro, Quid Pro, Joe, Snap to Sisters Joe, Pickety, Boom, Bop, Bricks to Click, Green Goblin, Unibot V2, Flam 56, Spectrum X, Hoot, Only Fox, Matt H, DJ, Back Edging, Snow, Frickin' Flex, Naked, The Greek Geek, Toxic, Soul King, who ditched me, Zadrek 74, who I don't think ditched me, King of Canada, JJ, who's back, Denman Falcon, who's in and out. He's dropping the kids off of the pool. Thor Newman, Two Ties, the Great Lord as the Pregnant Tucker, and of course, Gunny T. The T stands for I think I'm going to record one more tonight before I bounce. Thank you so much. And I'll see you tomorrow morning for, I think I'm doing Voltage tomorrow morning, and then I'm doing the new card tomorrow afternoon. Peace.